Call Waste Management Monitoring Committee meeting to order.
All right. Marvin Wolf.
Here.
Harvey Schweitzer. Here. Abby Lidke. Rowan Kiefer. Melvin Hebron.
Here.
William Thays.
Here.
Belinda Kostich. Sudarshan Sharma. Joe Spear. Brett Coogan. Madeline Sherwinski. And the agenda was posted in accordance with the open meeting law.
Okay. Approval of minutes from February 6th. You also got a copy in your packets. Do I have an motion for an approval?
I
Or
motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Public comment period. Not hearing any, we'll move on from public comment period. Financial report.
He might have a comment.
You got a public comment?
I'll wait.
No, we're at
Oh,
that
you're gonna
point
do
right
it
now. Okay.
Go ahead.
Your name and address, please, for the record.
It's W 125 South 9039 North Cape Road,
Okay.
PJ's Trucking.
Okay.
One of the biggest complaints, and it's not about one landfill, it's about both landfills, is the mud, the mud, the mud. I got an area in the back of my house that I've been trying to get cleaned out for the last 10 years. This last year, it flooded my storefront basement. 3.5 feet of water in my basement. I talked to the DNR, I talked to the city, I talked to the county, I talked to the DNR, I talked to the state. They went and they put all these catch basins in around the whole area. All the way from the landfill, comes all the way down into my backyard. The pipe is completely plugged, completely plugged. I get no help from no one.
Okay.
The catch basins, they should be sucking them out, the county.
What?
The county should be sucking those catch basins out if they're on the
I
highway.
gotta clean the own road because I don't want this stuff in my backyard anymore. You look on the corner of 45 and 36 by, just past the stop sign, there's a pile of garbage stacked this high. I put it there so someone could see it, but evidently no one cares. The county ain't gonna do nothing. I called the county, I called the city, I called the state, and like I'm saying, I'm not blaming it on Waste Management. You're not the only landfill there. It's GFL too. Their trucks come through there, there's garbage everywhere. Then the other problem I have is on the weekend, when all these weekend warriors take their garbage to the dump, I pick up garbage all the time. All the time. You can call the cops and tell them to sit there. They don't want nothing to do with that down there. Nothing. You guys give me some ideas. Because it just costs me a lot of money to go in there and dig the thing out. And then I got these people across the street from me, Champion Village. And I hope one of you guys are from Champion Village. I hate you people. I hate you. You guys, all you do is bitch about something you don't know nothing about.
Any comments from the board?
So you're saying that the catch basins are getting full of mud? So that,
Catch basins in front of the bar, that's on Highway 45. There's catch basins on Loomis Road. Then the biggest problem I have, and I know you guys don't have no concern about it, they went and put this coal power over there, they put the damn water holding thing right on top of the field tile. The guy that built the storage unit hooked the field tile into the storm sewer. So where do you think all that water from there ends up? DNR don't wanna do nothing, no one wants to do nothing. But I got Champion Village calls the town and says, I'm filling in a swamp. After we spent 11 hours digging it out.
Well, I'm just saying that if the catch basins are full, they should be pumped out, cleaned out by the county.
They don't get full there, they get full in my backyard. They run from the catch basins underneath the car lot, Durham Hill car lot. The catch basin goes right underneath his building. Underneath his building, comes into my property and exits out through the back. The swamp has been there for,
Yeah, eons.
Where is it, DJ, where is it exiting out to? The ditch out there on 36?
yes,
or-
there's supposed to be a right of way that goes in through the back there, by me and the storage unit. And it's supposed to drain out through those two properties there, and then goes underneath the road and then goes over to Champion Village.
Yeah,
If you got cattails 12 feet tall,
so it's not draining, it's not exiting.
I can't go onto someone else's property and start digging,
Yeah.
you know?
Huh.
But it's just, and I will state this again, it's not
I'll get that
all
one.
waste management. It's BFI, it's waste management, it's all the garbage trucks, you know. It's just, mud is unbelievable.
I guess I question, you contact Waukesha County to clean them, or you get a hold of Racine County?
Racine County, come on.
Well, they're the ones who, I see their trucks on 45 down to Durham Hill all the
Yeah, they
time.
were testing out a brand new sweeper, because that's the only road that's dirty. 2 weeks ago.
Well, I don't know, I just see their Racine County's on their road.
They go down there because that's a state road, and so they intersect at the intersection.
And it's easier to turn
It's
around.
simple,
They
yeah.
go up by the cul-de-sac and
Just
turn
like,
around.
Racine County comes all the way down 36 all the way to the corner too.
They actually got right in front of my house is where they have to stop.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got Waukesha County, Milwaukee County.
Right, they all meet
Muskego,
right there.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
City of Muskego, are they responsible for that drainage, you think? Or who's responsible for that drainage?
They told me it's on private property, so should I go and call a concrete truck and fill the catch basin up in my yard?
I don't think you should do
Yeah, that'd be a bad idea.
I think,
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
But that, it has to be exiting someplace, and if it's not.
Well, the pipe is here.
Then we got a problem.
Here's the pipe. Here's the dirt.
Well, that's the problem. And you know as well as anybody,
I
But-
understand.
you would think that the city engineer could come out there and actually look at that thing and say, hey, something's gotta be done here.
I called the city of Muskego because city of Muskego said, oh, we'll try to help you out. Well, they called me 2 weeks later and said, we got your permits ready for you to dig. I said, why am I paying for permits? Oh, I thought you needed permits. I said, no. I talked to that Scott over there 4 times. Yeah, I'll come out, I'll come out, I'll come out, I'll come out. Never comes out. Never comes out.
Because that is the city of Muskego. what we're
Yes,
talking about.
you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
the problem is, the drainage district that goes through the city of Muskego has been distant. It doesn't exist anymore. Because I complain about my ditch all the time, because I think somewhere in Champions Village, going to the lake, mainly the golf course, has put some sort of a dam in so they can hold water for watering the golf course. Because I get a lot more water lately, the last 10 years than I used to have.
Exactly.
His problem is going to be, once the city of Muskego tore the school down 25, 30 years ago, they forgot about that corner. It's
Yes.
completely gone. And it's low, there's only a few inches of fall
Yeah.
to the lake. So you gotta get to that channel that goes through the golf course. And you can't because it's like he's saying, it's full of cattails. And the city is pulling teeth to trying to get them to come out and look at any drainage issue.
No money.
They just don't want
That's
to
what
do it.
they'll say, no money.
Cattails, they don't want
They
to
don't don't have enough money to do anything.
It's,
Well, I
it may be
checked out-
cattails, but it's a drainage district.
Yeah.
The state knows it's still there because GFL came to my place one time, they're gonna move a ditch on their current expansion. And they were looking at the drainage district, but it was only through the state. That Waukesha County doesn't enforce it in Muskego at all anymore. So it's up to the private person and the people who own the particular land. It's not usable, so they don't care. You know, they can't farm it, so they're not gonna do anything about it.
But that drainage, that should go out to 36, right?
It does, but what it does is, it exits into my 2 properties, actually 3 properties, and then it goes down to the south.
Yeah.
I'll call you back in a minute, right?
Yeah.
And it goes down where Harvey would know, where Tom Kramer.
Yeah, I know where it's at down there.
Yeah, Tom Kramer. And it goes down in there and then it crosses the road. But like you said, the cattails are so high,
So it's not crossing the road.
It's not
well,
getting
it'll
to the
cross the
road.
road. It'll cross the road, but the cattail's gotta be 10 or 12 feet high. Now, the only way I could get into my property, and everybody knows we had a really cold winter, I waited for the coldness and I went in there and I cut the cattails right down to nothing. Are you supposed to do it? I don't know. How am I gonna get insurance if I keep on turning in that my basement keeps on flooding? So I cut them down and I took my excavator, went in there, dug it out, you know? It's just, the way it's going, when I clean up the road, it's just unbelievable, the mud that I pick up off the road.
But that should be able to be cleaned by anyone. If it's golf course, it should be their responsibility to clean, because that's not a navigable stream. That's a man-made canal, isn't it?
I don't know if you could say yes or no, I don't know what to say.
That's tricky business.
Yes,
When it was working, it was navigable water, because you could have put a canoe in the water.
Yep.
But that hasn't been, like I say, since the school is gone, it hasn't been.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Is it a natural stream or is it a man-made canal?
well, it had to
Probably
really,
was
I mean,
man-made.
not to interrupt, but the problem is all that water, and the state came in 1992, and they paid Pandone to put all those catch basins in, because they had a water issue, which was all right. But the biggest problem is, if you want to go and put those in, I think they're the ones that should maintain it.
Yeah.
And it goes back into the 20s, even before the 20s, when Ripple Motors bought that place. And that pipe was underneath there. They just didn't put that there. It's been there a long time. So, I mean, like I went to the state, I went to the county, I went to the city, I went to the DNR.
Because that's a state highway.
State highway starts in front of my house.
So what kind of solution do you think you can come up with then?
Well, I got it fixed now, but it ain't gonna be a fix if we keep on getting all this mud. You know?
It is amazing. Most of you don't go near that landfill midday,
Oh my God.
but it's just a cloud. I mean, you come around the curve by the church and it's just dust.
Oh, yeah.
And then all from the church up there, and even beyond the church, all comes by.
Gotta come down the road, yeah.
In the ditch goes that way, in front of the car lot, they got a catch basin there, they got a culvert there that goes across. That exits into Brian's property at the car lot and goes that way. All the other stuff, if it overflows, goes straight down, it goes across in front of the old Urban house, cuts across there, it goes right into my backyard. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 exits that we have water coming in there. Now, they did cut off the main one from the corner. They took care of that problem. But now that exits onto my corner property and it goes down the ditch. But I went up there the other day and it's gotta be this high full of garbage. Just unbelievable. But that one's cut off because that one did run across diagonally where the school was and exited there too. But they took that out. The state took it out when they redid the road.
I can't believe that Scott Kruger doesn't have some kind of an idea what he wants to do to get that cleaned out. It's-
I talked to him 4 times. 4 times. I talked to Eileen, said to Eileen. Eileen says, just go ahead and do it. I said, that isn't the point. Why should I do it? You know, now someone will come back and say, oh, you did it all wrong now. But do I have water in my basement? No, I don't. I don't.
But is it because you dug the hole deep enough, or is it because you're getting drainage?
Well, we dug it so that the water will run. We didn't just dig a swimming pool. You know, we dug it so that the water will run out the back. But I can't go on those other people's property to make sure the water flows. They just moved in there probably 5 years ago. I just getting to know the people. I don't want to say, hey, I need to come on your property and tear up your backyard.
But I guess the point is, that's secondary. The real problem is what can we do about the clay and dirt on the roads? I mean, it's, when you, they come
No,
and
let
they
me
sweep,
stop right
they
there with
sweep
you,
the
Harvey.
street.
Let me stop with that. How much is coming out of Copart?
I don't know what.
Park.
That's all limestone?
You drive a truck through there right now and come out on the road, you tell me you're not losing anything?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of snow from there.
You know better than
And the dust
that.
there is terrible too. But that's a
So-
Construction in the
different
area
issue.
too.
I know,
Well-
but that adds to the problem in the
Adds-
curve.
It adds to it, but this isn't a current problem. This has been going on for years. When you clean the street, when it's bad weather, cold weather, they sweep it. And they sweep it to the shoulder of the road.
Okay, I'm gonna argue with you. Go on, finish,
Well,
because I'm gonna
just look
explain
at the
why.
shoulder of the road. It's full of mud. There's no gravel on that road anymore on the side.
Okay, in the winter, when we sweep that road, we don't use water.
Yeah?
Do you understand?
No, it's
We
freezing
can't,
out there.
yeah, exactly. I ain't gonna have crashes out.
But the point is, where's the dirt go?
In the
Because you
ditch.
can't vacuum up. If you get,
We're not vacuuming it.
then where you
Rush.
push it?
This is a dustpan. It comes into the middle of the truck and the wheel and back picks it up. It's not a vacuum truck. It's a
pickup
sweep-
broom, right?
Yes, it's a dustpan
Yeah,
broom.
yeah, pickup broom.
So we're
Pick it
not
up.
sweeping it
Supposed
out
to
into
pick it
the
up and
shoulder of the
deposit
road.
it in
We're
the
bringing
back.
it off the edge of the road into the road and then get swept up.
But Harvey, they
It's a great
could be
theory.
there 10 hours a day sweeping. They ain't gonna keep up.
I agree.
They ain't gonna, like today, all this, you know as well as I do, all this mud that comes in out of the landfills, goes into the landfills, all the garbage comes from in front of my house.
And I get very upset when they say it all comes out of, and I argued with you before on this. It all comes out of waste management.
It
No,
doesn't.
No.
A lot of it comes out of GFL.
It's 50%.
And the next time I'm sweeping and it's that bad, I'll take a picture and show you the track that comes out, goes right up, goes north.
I don't need a picture. I know it. I live there.
yeah.
It's 50% problem. But
Mm-hmm.
what does anybody want to do about it?
Brett, you've got your track mats down, don't you?
Yeah, we put them out as soon as 2 months ago, kind of right
Yeah.
winter versus the
But
snow
you
was
know,
done
you
for
can put the
plowing.
track mats down and you'll probably say the same thing I do. I own a trucking company too. You do 5 miles an hour in the pit. You come out on the road, that shit is all packed in the tires. As soon as you hit the highway, what happens? It's all out on the road.
Yeah, but them track pads, they do knock off a lot.
No,
They
no,
do.
I'm saying they
do.
probably do, but they don't knock off as much as a truck does when it's going down the highway.
No, when we sweep, we just don't sweep the road. We're in the landfill today, all the way to that
And the
stone
asphalt.
pile,
Yeah.
where that asphalt ends. And then we turn around and come back. Get as much off there as we can, so it doesn't hit the road. And there's, what's that lady from the state? Nobody in here wants to deal with her.
DOT.
Yeah.
I told the drivers from Waste Management, send her down by me. 3 of them went and told him to go down and see the neighbor, he wants to talk to you. She wouldn't come down there.
Oh, you're lucky. There's only one person at Metro that can argue with her, and that's Heather, because Heather doesn't take no shit. Every man there runs when she, what's her name anyways?
Susan, I think.
No. Kayla, do you know her?
No, I've never
You
met her.
never met her. Just be lucky.
Now I want to know who she is.
I think her name's Gail.
Is it?
No, I'll say.
Go ahead.
Joe?
So, the landfill's not gonna provide a solution to this.
No.
I would recommend, since we've got Waukesha County at the table, that the committee makes the request that the street is cleaned and the ditches are cut more frequently than they are now. So I think it's a once-a-year sequence now for the catch basins and the new ditch cuttings. And ask Waukesha County to make it twice or 4 times a year.
I know the guy that sweeps for Waukesha County. I know him very well. They have no money to come down there and sweep.
It doesn't matter, they have a legal requirement to maintain things.
I'm just telling you what he's told. They don't have the money.
No matter, they gotta maintain
Still
it.
gotta find a
It's
way.
the same argument to give Scott. So the stormwater, once it runs off your property, not, I mean yours in a general sense, not your specific property, becomes public water. It's not allowed to legally go back on private property. So anywhere that it flows across a property you identify as someone else's, there has to be an easement that allows the city of Muskego or the city of Franklin to come in and clean it. So really all it is a question of making sure the enforcement goes through. And as one individual, I realize that's really difficult. But if the committee, with a Waukesha panel member, asks to have more work done, I'm fairly certain it'll occur. Whether or not this committee can have sway over Muskego, I don't know, but I also know that there's significant people in this committee that are on the committee in Muskego. So I'm sure if you show up for that meeting, you can have a two-pronged attack.
Here's another thing, I was on the Board of Public Works for decades, okay? If there's a catch basin in your yard, they had to get a right-of-way to get that catch basin there, and any piping to it, okay? So there's gotta be records of it, and it's also the responsibility of the community that put the catch basin in to maintain it.
I'll look at it.
But the state of Wisconsin put the catch basins.
Then they're responsible.
They tell me, no, you gotta talk to your,
No.
to the city. I
'Cause-
talked to the city. No, you gotta go to the county. Went to the county. County said, you gotta go to the state. I says, I was there already.
Like I said, as one individual, it's a very hard, difficult thing
I
because
think we
they don't
will-
want to spend the money.
And all they do is passing the buck.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they don't wanna do it, so. Well, we've gotta move on. I think what we will do is, Joe, I think we will figure out how to compose a letter and,
Oh, yeah, I always say make Waukesha do it.
okay.
Mark, I got one comment though about the garbage. on the
Yes,
road.
okay,
Years ago, Franklin, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, would drive down 8 Mile and pick up garbage that people do not get to the landfill.
right,
Everybody says it's the landfill's fault. No, it's not. If it can't get in the gate, it's not their responsibility.
right.
So maybe we should tell Franklin, Muskego, hey, Saturday afternoon, after 3 o'clock, you better get out there and start picking garbage up.
That's overtime.
Or at
You're
least
not gonna pay
Monday
that.
morning, does not matter. How much money are these landfills giving these communities?
Well, usually Monday morning, we have a gentleman go around the site and everything is cleaned up, okay?
And the host agreement's pretty
So,
clear that you're
and
responsible.
the thing is, you're getting garbage deposited,
A half mile,
yeah.
a half mile. Okay, I'm more than a half mile down the road and the garbage is in my ditch on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So, I'm even more than a half mile to the corner of 112th.
Right.
So, I look at it this way, either Franklin or Reman, that's their responsibility. Get their crew out there and pick this shit up. It's not your responsibility, Brett. It did not get in your gate.
Maybe we need to send them a letter also and inform them that on Mondays, they're gonna have to send a crew out just to check those roads.
Yeah.
Because it's not our responsibility.
That's a good idea. Set them
Yeah.
alarm. They should do that.
I mean, you know, you guys, whoever sends a guy out to clean the garbage, he comes maybe once a week, which is appreciated, and picks up the garbage. The thing that upsets me is these people that come from the city of Milwaukee, and they can't get rid of their tires. And they come into my damn lot and dump the tires. I will say, not Waste Management, GFL, it's pretty good. I said, hey, listen, they just dumped 10 tires in my lot. You know, can you help me out? Just put them in the thing, we'll take care of them. I don't know where the people come from. They go down the end of the cul-de-sac over there on Loomis Court.
Yep,
They missed the dump. They pulled down there. I caught 4 or 5 people
call please.
throwing their
Get their
garbage
license
out.
plates.
a
Get their
plate
license
Their
plates
license plates.
and call it in.
For yours. The-
You
they
can
will-
call the
Yeah.
cops, you can call this, you can
No, if the
what.
police have a plate, they will go and they can
They
cite
ain't
them.
gonna
But
do
that's-
that.
They have.
Oh, wait a minute, yes, they
have.
do, because
They have.
I
worked
have.
there.
Really.
I worked there. They have.
I worked for the police department also. So, yes, they do it.
But the thing about it is, that's an ongoing problem. I'll bet in the last 6 months, I called the town of Norway or Racine County to pick up tires. There's sometimes 8 to 12 tires dumped in one night
Yeah,
and rolled
In the ditches.
rolled in my fields.
yeah.
And, how you supposed to catch them? I don't have cameras out there in the field, you know, but
Yeah, it's-
they do it all over the place.
I'm okay with closing the resi yard, that way it can never come.
Yeah,
No.
Another good
You know
place
what,
is,
I would
hey,
kinda
another
support
good
that.
place
I
is
would
on
support
Oakwood
you,
Road by
Brett,
the
I
the
really
bridge. Between 60th and 76th.
Roll them down.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's,
Oh,
how
yeah,
many
yeah,
did
yeah,
I
yeah,
call
yeah,
in
yeah,
on
yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah.
And they have
Tons
to
of
go.
them, because I live that way.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take it
Yeah.
easy.
Hey, there's tires on 8 Mile, yeah, I know, I'm.
Okay, we'll move on to the financial report. Everybody should have a copy of it. Any questions or comments? Not hearing any, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Joe Spears,
All right.
well sampling letter.
So your lovely secretary has the labels for the envelopes. You produced the letters, I'm pretty sure. And they should go out this month of May. And then we will get them back where they get delivered to you. I just realized you don't have anybody on staff that's done this before. Okay.
Heather has.
Oh, that's right, Heather has. So it returns to the landfill, it gets picked up by the secretary. She and I identify who wants to be sampled. We put it through a little bit of calculation based on when the last time someone was sampled, where they are in relation to the landfill, and whether or not it's a first timer. And then we make that decision at the July meeting. So between May and July, the letters go out, they come back and then you guys agree with the sampling, or maybe we add 1 or 2. And the real push is to have the sampling itself done in August or early September. Over the last couple of years, because of COVID, we have pushed further and further into September, and it makes it really hard to have the report at the first meeting of the year. So, and I also will have, this is the meeting where I say if you guys want to discuss it, it's the time to choose a new lab, but I don't recommend it, as Davies is really doing a great job, and they perform purging and so on that these other companies don't do. They treat the home as if it's clean, and you get a lot of residuals before they actually do the sampling. It's also a chance to replace me if you'd like to. I can recommend a number of groups. I really don't think you should. So I will either come with a proposal and a bunch of other people's proposals next meeting, or a contract. And that, I think, covers everything for the well sampling.
Okay, any comments on that? From anyone on the board?
Joel, you're doing a good job.
Gee,
I think
thanks.
we should keep Joel.
Yeah, right.
Well, here's my opinion on it. I'll give you my opinion. Davies Lab's been doing an excellent job. They've caught their mistakes they've had and corrected them right away. You know, as far as false positives or negatives. Joe has been on top of everything. I get my reports, you know. I can call him at any time for any of you can. You know, I don't think we need to change.
There's no plans to change.
I had none.
Okay, I make sure every year I bring it up, because I don't want somebody at the last minute, Brett, to point out that that should be one of those things that can be decided. And to be honest, Davies, the other part is, Waste Management pays for the lab,
Yes.
but it's your choice.
Yes.
And so there is some discussion to be had to make sure. Okay,
And I don't think Waste Management has any problems with either one of those decisions as far as Joe or Davies Lab.
Yeah, he's fine.
Not slap.
so
No, everything's good.
I know.
Yeah.
let's talk about this poor performance from last year then. So everybody should have a copy of the summary of
Right.
audits. So this is laid out the same way I do the audits. Marvin has the big book of all of them, which ends up in some public record at some point. It's all called out by the host agreement. Digital copy will be coming to you guys. I'll bring it out on a thumb drive, and we'll also put it up on the website for anybody to review it. The real issue that this all comes down to is street sweeping, both sites, odors, again, both sites, and how those have been responded to. So over 2024, the odors really got cut back. And I've discussed it with Brett a couple times. I really don't think they were getting the cover that they needed, and I think it was very similar to what happened in 2004 when JSA started. The union doesn't always work well with the management. And as soon as management goes home, the union looked like they were doing the same thing. So they were left with poor or inadequate cover. That upped odors. But overall, the count was 6 total phone calls. So it's not like it was the 235 in 2004. So when I say there were odors, but it wasn't a condition of the site to make it an action item or to make it a big issue in this summary. But I will say that by the end of the year, no odor complaints in the fourth quarter, no odor complaints yet this year. And there's some subtle changes in management as well. But when I took a lot of pictures, I will say that the nice thing about using a computer out in the field, I'm using less paper because I'm not printing out a form every time. You can read the audits for those people that have read my handwriting in the past. This may have been difficult. And I guess it just leaves more time when I actually go around the site to actually take a look at it. So I was surprised to see that the book's bigger even though there should be less paper, solely because of photographs.
And if there's anybody in the board that would like to take this home and read it, they're more than welcome to, as long as I get it back from my files. Okay? Any other questions from Joe? Do we have a motion to accept this report? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Holy, we're gonna get to an hour.
Motion passes.
You know,
Now- Now we'll move on to waste management report.
All right. So correspondence wise, in April, the site's RD&D permit, was expired the previous year, expiring, so we went in for renewal. We got that renewal from DNR on Monday, April 14th, so that, enables us to continue accepting liquids in the landfill, free liquids in the landfill. It's a bioreactor unit, so that was all good. We didn't have any cease in operation. Actually came in the day it expired, so actually rolled over pretty good that time. I have continued to finalize annual report that's actually done. Maddie submitted that last week, I think, or
Annual report?
the annual report.
For the new hill was submitted this week.
This
For
week.
the old hill was submitted last month. to
So,
DNR.
yeah, so I got into Tony at the DNR, so those are submitted for them to review. Don't expect any comments back from that. As soon as we hear something,
Did you get a copy off to the city?
I don't know if we did yet.
I haven't gotten a
I
copy
will-
either, that's why I'm
We will
pointing it
do
out.
that,
Okay.
yeah, we will do that probably early next week. Send it out.
I need something to read.
Do you guys normally just get a paper copy or digital?
Paper.
Paper, okay. I just wanna make
I like
sure.
it, I like it digital.
Digital, okay. We can
And
do
that
both.
way I can read through it and put it away without it being a pile.
Both annual reports?
No, I get paper.
Yeah, he
Both
wants,
of them?
yeah, he wants.
Yeah,
both.
both
Just
reports.
get both. Yeah.
And I only get the new hill.
Yeah.
Just,
I only get, my prerogative only is the new hill.
Okay.
I don't have any say on the old hill.
okay.
Thank God. Thank God.
Lucky you.
And then, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or last week, the DNR came out to do another, this is the third time now, came out to do a walkthrough of our wetlands, just to take a look and analyze again as we're progressing through our feasibility report, kind of finishing up the wetland area, so don't know why they need to come out a third time. It's kind of been a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we're getting through it, so. It's progressing. Not really much to say on that, kind of waiting on their notice back to us on some items, so probably be a little bit yet. Construction wise, we are working on a plan for a new flare installed this year, right? Basically, our old flare has been there for a while. It's a small flare, we're just gonna get one more capacity with New Hill expanding like that. So we're currently working on drawings to go out for bid for construction, to put a new flare on site, probably Q3, Q4 this year.
And hopefully no permitting.
No, yeah,
hiccups.
yeah, and hopefully-
There's a little bit.
'cause we gotta do some air
We're working
permitting
through
for-
some permitting issues right now, but.
Yeah, we should be able to nail those down pretty quick, so. We are going to be demoing that old recycling transfer station that you guys see along the road.
The America Building?
Is that what that's called? We're working to get a demo permit right now with City of Franklin, just going through the steps, so we hope to have that next, hopefully a couple weeks. We're realistic, the holdup's probably gonna be We Energies, doing the final disconnect on that. So,
It doesn't, I'm sorry,
No.
it doesn't have any asbestos or anything, right?
we got an abatement done and it
Good.
came out.
So
good.
you guys
Or we
just
didn't
know-
give it, got a inspection done and it came out.
So you'll just wet it as you rip it down anyway for dust? Okay.
Yeah, we'll make sure it dusts out. So the fence is gonna be torn down, it's there, so we're gonna put up temp fence and then we have a fence contractor lined up, make sure that all gets sealed up properly, the way it needs to be. So, hopefully, we have in here plan for May. I doubt it'll probably happen in May in all honesty. Hopefully it does, but we'll
We'll
see.
see.
See how well We Energies moves.
Yeah,
It's
we're
not
waiting
quick.
on We Energies right now.
Yeah. And then cell construction was awarded New Berlin grading. They actually started on Tuesday, was technically their first day. And then Wednesday, they worked a little bit. Today was a rain day, so they didn't get much done. But they're gonna start working on the clay excavation, removing the soils. Everything's gonna be on site, nothing's going off site. So it should be an easy construction, so it shouldn't be too long, hopefully. But goal is to realistically have a permit for the cell by Q3, end of Q3.
Optimistic there, Brad.
Yeah, hey, I gotta be.
We'll see.
So operations wise, we're still continuing to fill in 3B. We've been there for a while. We'll be there for probably at least another 6 months. We started a new lift, so we're up a little higher, and we're just gonna kind of be working a lift to the south. So kind of be seeing the same stuff we've done, just a little higher, working on that south side. We are still employing a larger temp labor crew. The winds have kind of killed us this year. The good thing is majority of everything's been staying on site, so we do have people walk the roads at least once a week to clean that stuff up. But we have been kind of getting a little mini army consistently this year to try and get on top of the stuff. And there haven't been any complaints that I've known at the resi yard. We had one incident where a resident got a little lippy with our temp labor person. So that went out well. And then lastly is this Saturday, we're doing that community litter pickup on Loomis Road with the Lions Club. Can't remember, Mike was his name,
Yes,
right?
Mike.
Yeah. So Mike's coming out tomorrow to kind of get those details down, and then Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, we have a crew, I think 35 people signed up from them, and then we're gonna, so good crew size. We're gonna have about 5 or 6 WM people, not more, I'm still trying to wrangle up, and we're gonna knock it out Saturday morning, so.
Well, I see 3 right here.
I'm going, I'll be there. I'm a lion, so.
Yep. So it's usually a good event, you know, it's community coming together, we have a little fun with it, so. Good to go. That's kind of all I have right now.
Any questions? Not hearing any, do I have a motion to approve his report?
I so move.
Go ahead.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Report passes. Okay, any miscellaneous business? Not hearing none, we'll move on. Next scheduled meeting is August 7th. Are we gonna do a tour at the site or not?
If you want to, absolutely.
Well, it's up to the board. Do they want a tour?
I always like going up there, but, you know, I think the majority are first.
And we're gonna have, I'll be there up there tomorrow.
He gets a tour every day.
I think it's always good to take a look at the site.
Okay, we'll schedule a tour then after the meeting on August 7th. A motion to adjourn?
I motion.
A second?
I'll say.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.